Hello everyone, welcome to this third video in a series on preparing and painting a large metal model. In this episode, I'll demonstrate how to fill the gaps between the part of the dragon with grain stuff and complete the base with Milliput Epoxy Putty and other elements. Alright, in the last video I glued the base to the wooden plate, but I want to make sure it's extra secure. So I'm adding some super glue to the underside of the 3D printed base, which is a bit convex. I'm using several generous amount of glue around the perimeter to solidify the bound even more. Next, I'm going to create some anchor points by adding sand. This will give the dragon a sturdy foundation. While I'm waiting for the super glue to cure, I'll use green stuff to fill in any holes and gaps on the dragon. It's a bit tricky, but with patience and care, this will really improve the final appearance of the model. Green stuff must be well mixed to be effective and adhere well to the surface. I'll apply it with a wooden stick, the tip of which I can easily cut into the desired shape. There's an opening at the bottom of the dragon's mouth, so I'm starting by plugging that hole. To prevent the green stuff from sticking to the wooden stick, I'm wetting the end, being careful not to wet the surface I want to apply the putty on. Once the green stuff is in place, I'm spreading it out to mold it to the rest of the piece and create a smooth surface. I'll make sure to spread the putty on the other side of the hole as well to ensure a solid bound. Now I'll focus on filling the gaps between the dragon's wings and body. I'll take some putty and shape it to fit the gap I want to fill. Once I've placed it over the gap, I push the putty in to make sure the gap is completely full. On the second pass, I spread it to match the shape of the wing as closely as possible. After that, I use my craft knife to clean up the scales. And then I sculpt the green stuff to give it the shape of the muscle. This part requires some extra effort and attention to detail, but it will make a big difference once the model is painted. Remember, taking time to properly sculpt the putty will pay off in the end. Once I've finished patching the upper part of the other wing, I repeat the same process on the underside of the wings. Taking care to follow the contours of the muzzle. Reshaping the scales is also important, so I take my time to achieve the desired look. I like to improvise sometimes, and one of my favorite tools is the handle of a paintbrush. Even the smallest gap between the leg and the body are worth filling for a nice finish. I do the same for the neck to ensure a consistent look. The front leg also get the same treatment, with careful attention to detail. Finally, I apply mastic on the dragon's jawbone, where the glue hides the scale detail. I will carve new scales as I go. And here's the result. I continue by closing the gap along the head. And carefully sculpting small scales to complete the look. I repeat the process on the other side of the head, taking my time to sculpt new scales. Here's the finished result. With all the gaps filled using green stuff, I'll let the mastic cure for 24 hours to ensure everything is solid. I place the remaining green stuff between the base and the wooden plate. The sticky putty will help create a strong bond. To complete the outline of the base, I'm gonna use Milliput Terracotta Putty. Before starting, I need to make sure I have water at hand to smooth out the putty later. I'm gonna apply Milliput all around the base, so I have to estimate the amount I'll need. Then I take equal parts of both components. It's important to mix the two parts fully to get an effective putty. I know the mix is optimal when the color is uniform. Once the putty is mixed, I apply a bead all around the ruin, making sure it sticks well to and under the base. To avoid sticking, I wet my finger before pushing on the putty. I'm short on putty. I'll mix some more to finish the outline of the base and to make some additional stones. With the putty now apply all around the base, I add balls of putty at a few places to create stone and make the base more interesting to look at. To finish things off, I put putty around the wooden plate to fill the holes and hide the rough wood grain. Now that the base outline is complete, it's time to add some character to the scene. This is where the real work begins. I'll sculpt and add textures around the base. I apply water to make the Milliput more malleable. Once again, I use a simple wooden stick to start carving the rough shapes. I'm no expert, but I'm excited to see what I can create. Here's the first result after a few minutes of work. It's good, but I know I can make it even better with some patience and finesse. I take my time and continue to work with care, using the wooden stick to carve and shape the stones. To add texture, I use an old paintbrush with short bristles to scratch and dab the wet mastic. After some extra work, I'm thrilled with the end result. It's amazing what can be created with a little effort and creativity. Before letting the green stuff and the Milliput harden for 24 hours, I'm gonna add a few more details to complete the ruined scene. What better addition than a few pieces of broken beams? I use super glue to fix them in place. And it already looks much better. But I still feel like there's something missing. The dragon's tail is too straight for my liking, so I'm going to bend it to create more movement and give it a more dramatic and threatening appearance. It's been 12 hours and the Milliput is already rock solid. Once dry, it can be carved, sanded, and drilled as needed. Green stuff is just as versatile. Once it's dry, it can be filed and carved if needed. I almost forgot. I still have stone blocks from the ark. I will glue them on the base. To make them blend in seamlessly, I'll add some sand around them. Here's the result. The hard work and attention to detail is paying off. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing to my channel. In the next video of this series, I'll be painting the dragon and the display base. Thanks for watching and take care.